I was mentioning to my friend who lives at the other side of the country how easy it is to do a Bode plot with these modern scopes, and he couldn't quite grasp the concept of how easy it actually is. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to just quickly go through how to set up this Siglent 2000X Plus series scope with its internal waveform generator to do an automated Bode plot. And the device under test is this resistor capacitor band gap filter, which I built a few years ago for an experiment I was doing. We're going to look at the frequency response of this filter using the Siglent scope in the automated Bode plot. So the physical setup is you connect the waveform generator through to channel 1 in this case. You could use any channel you wanted, but you bring it into channel 1 through a T, and then it goes out from there to the device under test. And then we come the output of the device under test, bring it into another channel. In this case, we're using channel 3. That's all there is to the physical setup. So let's now configure the scope for the Bode plot. So we go into Analysis, down to Bode plot, and then into Configure. Now we're just going to do a simple sweep for this. We've got our output on channel 3, our inputs on channel 1. We don't have any second device. We're going to use the internal function generator. It can use a USB attached external function generator or a LAN attached external function generator. Let's test to see that the internal generator is connected successfully. It is. We want a simple decade. This particular device under test needs a wider frequency range than we have here. Let me go in here and we're going to set this to 10 Hertz on the low end to 100 kilohertz on the top end. 20 points per decade is fine. We want this in volts peak to peak. We want an amplitude here of 1.25 volts. And this is a high impedance. We'll select high Z here. Yeah, this filter is a high impedance filter. And everything looks good. Now all we have to do is set the operation in motion and let the scope do the rest of the work. It sets up the oscillator and sets up the scope itself to record the Bode plot. So that's it. It's all done. In a few minutes, we've gotten a complete frequency response and phase shift analysis of the device under test. And it couldn't be simpler compared to the old days of jotting it all down, doing hand calculations for every single point. This is so much nicer, so much easier. And well, that's it. Well, thanks for viewing, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.